Hello, fellow Toolboxers. Welcome to episode number 351. Today we're doing a quick interview with Eric Lee. He's a fellow colleague here that started an organization with some of our top colleagues and top academics in the field called CounselorAccountability.org to help you challenge bad counselor decisions, which we unfortunately see a lot that could be really devastating on families. So we go over how to contact the organization, the website, and what they do. So I thought it was really good. They're a nonprofit organization. The donations are needed to help them make these challenges, but they support the whole community. So I wanted to get this one in really fast. Before we start, I do want to mention a lot of people reach out about different kinds of business cases that we could help train them on. We're doing a live training on E2s. I'm going to go over an E2 case I did, change the status of USCIS. I've redacted it, so yeah, you can really go into more detail about it and include a cover of the copy of the cover letter. It's a session or 6 people only. I think 2 of them already been purchased. We just launched it like a day or 2 ago. So we're keeping a small group so we can have a lively discussion. It's private. It's not recorded, so we can have more open discussion as well. So if you want to join that, contact me, info@immigrationlawyerstoolbox.com as soon as possible so I can send you a link. If it sells out, we'll do more of them. But I think this is going to sell out pretty soon. So that's why I'm getting this quick recording out to let you all know. Having said all that, the following information is not intended for individual legal guidance. Please consult with an immigration attorney. But you all know that already. Let's get it started. Eric, thanks so much for joining us today about talking about such an important issue that's near and dear to my heart, which is consular denials, or incorrect denials, or mistakes and fraud claims, all this kind of stuff that it drives you crazy if you do any type of practice that deals with consular processing. Could you start with telling us a little about yourself and how you got into immigration law, and then we'll talk about CounselorAccountability.org.
Sure. Well, I've been practicing immigration law since I passed the bar in 2015. And have ended up doing a lot of litigation over visa denials, and have won some cases, have lost some cases, but in the process of recognize there is a definite need for organization on our side to provide people and attorneys with with the information and the context that they need to be able to fight denials, to prepare their clients so that they don't get denied, and to bring some accountability to the consular process.
So you've organized a group, a coalition with a couple of colleagues. If you name who they are, former like top immigration lawyers, former consular officers are practicing, and I guess central location is consularaccountability.org. But who are you working with in this project?
Well, it's not really possible to list all the names of all the people who have graciously agreed to help us. There are a number of law school deans. There are academics in the immigration world, constitutional lawyers. A lot of the names will be very familiar to people: Erwin Chemerinsky, Jonathan Weinberg, Kevin Johnson, Bill Ong-Hing, David Zimmer, Kate Gettle. It goes on and on. We do also have a number of former consular officers who are going to be helping in a very critical way provide information about how these things work on the inside, on the government side. And I think that the fact that they have joined our project is an indication that there is a growing recognition that something is fundamentally wrong with the consular process, with the way that so many embassies are able to essentially permanently separate families of U.S. citizens simply on the basis of a whim without any oversight. So that's what we're fighting to change.
Yeah, on the practitioner side, Stephen Yalair, Sabrina DeMass here in Los Angeles, David Strashman, I think he's in LA too, former consular, Jesse Bless, which well known as well. So it's really cool. And Christopher Dempsey.
Leslie Dawn of AIC, of course.
So, they've already been doing this fight, but now that you got it more organized, and not organized, but working together, who reaches out to you guys? Is it the client, the lawyer? When do they need to reach out to you? Who is it? And then we'll go to how and all that.
Either and any time. We envision being a full service shop which can help people, whether they're represented or not, when they are preparing for the interview, when they are anticipating a denial, and even after a denial, either at the administrative level, the internal appeals process, legal net, etc., if one wants to dignify that process with the use of the word process. And then if necessary, though we're also conscious of the need to avoid creating bad law, we will sue the State Department to make sure that the courts are holding them accountable as well.
Is this a law firm?
No, we are a registered IRS recognized 501c3 tax exempt organization.
Okay, so let's say let's talk. I mean, this is for lawyers, so like it's probably won't have pro se people, but if they want to reach out to you, do they hire you? Do you put a G28 in there, if you will, or that kind of thing, or?
We're going to make that determination on a case by case basis. In a lot of cases, it's just going to be answering questions that practitioners have. What's going to happen is people will fill out our intake form. If you go to consularaccountability.org, our request assistance button is very prominent at the top of the page. What you can do is you can fill out that form, whether you're an attorney, whether you're a visa applicant, or someone who with a family member who's going through this process. Fill out the form, tell us what you need, tell us what your questions are, and we'll do our very best to get back to you if there's something that we can do to help. And as that process goes forward, we're going to try and, yes, provide some one on one representation. In other circumstances, it'll be passing a fact pattern through to our advisory committee and getting you the information that you need to be able to successfully resolve your situation,
Before it
regardless of
gets out,
what
you're getting
stage.
slammed. Do you have enough staff? If enough people hear about this, they're going to be slammed with stuff.
Well, those of you who want to help us speed up and take on more clients should donate. We have a donor box page set up on our website. We do need funds. No, I am the staff right now. I also have a full time paid job. I don't get paid for this work, but we do need resources. We've got to have filing fees. We've got to be able to reach out to people. So please consider both reaching out to us and also making a contribution to help us get this project off the ground.
We didn't mention your background. You work at the Diamante Law Firm, which is well known, fighting the good fight for many, many years now. I've been going up to the Supreme Court and doing those kind of fights. So that's really good work there. Now, what are like some of the, I mean, the stuff that you see typically, lawsuits that you typically done? Is it mandamus or other kinds of lawsuits? What would that concert portion?
Well, so far, my work has focused almost entirely on challenging denials after the denial, whether that's challenging the process that led up to the denial or challenging the basis of the denial itself. But we envision a lot of fact patterns that we will be able to intervene in. And what we hope is that we'll be able to establish that when the Consular Accountability Project reaches out to the consulate, to the embassy, to LegalNet, that the State Department is going to listen because we're bringing important cases to their attention that should not be where they are.
Yeah.
The consular officers, so many of them want to make a correct decision, and we want to help them make the correct decision. And that's the purpose of this project.
Yeah, part of it is a huge training issue, just not knowing what to do, and that being overwhelmed by the amount of cases. Even like B1s, B2s, we see some crazy like denials or accusations of fraud when there shouldn't be fraud accusation. One project when it comes to consular, it's not data and fact intensive, is collecting timelines to see how long it actually takes to get an interview. But so many lawyers have to participate, in myself, organizing a system where I keep track of how long it's been hard. But if that's something, and I'm actually talking with the AI company to see if that's something we can do. I'm not sure it's going to be possible, but to get lawyers just to aggregate, and there are Excel sheets, different groups have done this, but just seeing actually how long it takes. In Nigeria, where it's taken years to get an interview, Kenya, for Iranians, for Pakistanis, even admin processings. Like how deep is the admin processing? Because it seems like every Pakistani case is getting admin processing at this point. And it's like never ending. Parents that are old that never did anything, they're like years waiting for their visa to be issued. That's a pet peeve. It's something I deal with on a daily basis. So if there's a way to get facts and say, okay, this is kind of too much. Not everybody can be administrative processing, or at least if they are, when does it get done? How long? It can't be 2 years. This is U.S. citizens are waiting for their loved ones to come, children, spouse, parents. This is ridiculous.
I mean, look, there's so many nightmare stories out
Yeah.
there. Practitioners know. I mean, if you've ever had an Iranian client who was conscripted into the Iranian Revolutionary Guard back in the day, you know
Yeah.
that it's impossible to get them here. The point is that we want to be the eyes and ears. There's so many people out there doing a lot of good work, but we need a higher level of coordination on our
Yeah.
side. So we want to hear about fact patterns, whether you've resolved it on your own or not. We want to hear about it so that we can develop a network, share information, make sure that we are not operating as individuals. We have to be as organized as the federal government, or well,
Yeah. Not better.
whether that's one or not. But we need to have a higher level of
Yeah.
organization so that when we go into court, we're aware of what's happening everywhere.
Yeah, if I'm not sure if this falls within the purview of it, but like if you have another option, just data collection, to say, hey, because like
Exactly.
a client, a colleague of ours posted, I want to name his Nick's the information, but like apparently they're looking at people's resumes and saying you didn't list every single job on the DS160, DS160, and it's like some of these jobs are like internships, something like they get them for nitpicky kind of stuff, which is crazy accusation of fraud that just hurts you forever. When you're doing an NIW or an EB1A case, there's no waivers going to be possible. It's not a family case, so it's pretty crazy is the sanest way to put it. But yeah, anything to kind of get all the data together so we actually see what's going on, because we're all in our silos and stuff and too busy to share
Yeah.
sometimes, or just think it's just one off. But these are massive trends that we need to identify to get them. So hopefully the Concert Accountability Project, concertaccountability.org, could help in that process. Thanks so much, Eric, for coming on the show. Is there anything else you want to leave us with?
Just if you are a practitioner and you're watching or listening, if there's a ALA chapter event or some other event that you want us to present on our project to, please reach out to us. Our information is on the website. And we do need donations, so to the extent that you're able to help us with that, we would appreciate it. But please fill out our intake form, whether you're an attorney or not, and we will do our best to respond to you and see what's going on.
Wonderful. I'm glad David Strachner reached out about this and to get the word out. It's so important. It's personal for me because it's a fight I'm dealing with every day, and having support on it is wonderful.
We all are.
Thanks so much for coming
Thank
on the
you.
show, Eric. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jen.
So that was so cool. Thank you for listening. I'm really happy people are doing this. This kind of concert accountability stuff is things I want the toolbox to do, but I don't have the staff to do it. So I'm glad I get that. Random different people in our group in our field are coming out to do this kind of stuff. It's really important to put it together, to do the training and the challenges and the data accumulation that's necessary. But I do want to mention and remind you the E2 live session is coming up. Limited seating only. It's going to fill up very fast. I only put 6 spots already. 1 or 2 of them are sold out. So it's going to sell out pretty quickly. As soon as you hear this, email me info@immigration Toolbox. I'll send you a quick information. It's like $250 for the session. About it'll probably be an hour. But you're going to get the down low of what's going on with these E2 cases. If you've never done one, you only did one, you're nervous, you haven't done with USCIS, you haven't done one less than $100,000 investment, which is what this is, a real estate company, which is a hard one to do. We got it approved, so I'm going to fill you in on that. And that's it. So thanks so much for listening. See you at the next one. Bye-bye.